I know we keep jumping all over the place, but I know one thing that you forgot to say, because I know you wanted to talk about this, is spells and abilities and being interrupted. Because we didn't talk about that.
That's along with the interruption sequence. It is ridiculously annoying with this too. With one of the warrior abilities, you have this attack where you kind of pull in everything in a radius. It pulls everybody in and jumps them up, throws them down. Mm-hmm. In order to do it, you have to keep pressing B.
Okay.
Well, whatever you have that ability mapped to.
Yeah, wherever it's key.
So, say you start it up and you're starting to pull everybody in. Well, if someone is out of that radius and they come in and attack you,
yeah,
that's done. Like, your attack is done. You use your mana. You have to wait for the ability to, like, recharge.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you use your attack for so much. Like, sometimes in some instances, like, I didn't even pull anybody in. I would just press B and then I would get attacked. Like, I wouldn't even start the animation to do the ability before all my mana was gone, and then I had to wait for the charge for the ability, it's annoying. Which,
the more annoying part from that is that happens to you, the player, but you can't do that to the enemies.
Exactly. When you fight kind of the high-level, like, Niskaru bosses, the guys that kind of come out of the ground, they have, like, a giant claw arm and then, like, a little tiny arm.
Yeah, the strong arm.
Yeah, exactly. They'll do this thing where they'll kind of like go in, they'll do like this like Dragon Ball Z like burst of energy thing. They'll kind of tuck in and then they'll roar out, and then the whole screen turns yellow, like it blasts everything.
Okay.
While you're attacking them, you cannot stop that. Like you have to dodge almost.
So you have to do their shitty roll system and get out of the way.
Yeah, you have to leave the map basically in order to get out of that, because it's really hard to evade that move. But that's one of the annoying things, because while they're doing that, you can't do jack crap about it. They have other moves like that as well. It seems like you can only do that to some moves and some of the enemies while they're doing those type of moves, unless you get a critical hit.
Yeah.
If you get a critical hit, it'll stagger them, or if you have like stun or something like that on your weapon, they'll kneel down and be stunned for a little bit, and that's your time to attack. But if they're doing their big magic attacks, then it's over.
Now, you say critical hits, and I had another problem with this too, is I use a hammer, and to do a critical hit, I'm assuming is you charge your attack and then hit them, right?
With that, no, it's actually based on what your...
So it's a percentage of your critical hit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay. So it's, say if you have like a hilt or a rivet or something like that increases your critical hit chance.
Yeah.
That's your critical hit chance for that weapon.
Now, what about charging? Does that automatically entitle a critical hit, or what's
charging? It's a power hit. Some of the moves, like how you unlock, because with the different, the might, the finesse, and the sorcery, basically the different classes of character.
Yeah.
In their the leveling categories, they have weapon mastery levels. The more points you put in the different levels, the more more moves you unlock for the certain weapons for that class. And then the attack damage or whatever on that weapon.
Yeah.
So that's basically it for the charge moves. You charge, you do your move, and you do a little bit of damage. That's it. With that said, even those moves themselves can be interrupted at times, which is annoying, because the greatsword has a charge move where you charge it and then he spins around a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that's a sweet move, because you would think, oh, I can go in there, swing my sword around, and that'll clear the area.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if somebody's attacking, then you can't hit them while they're attacking, but they can sure as hell hit you while you're doing your moves.
And then that was another thing, too, with the charging weapon, is I had a problem, at least maybe it was just me and how I played, but I would run in there, and I would hit and hold, whatever my attack button is, but it would seem like it wouldn't charge. It would just do the first hit animation, like the common hit, and it wouldn't charge. And maybe that was just me and just not playing it right, but I would try to charge, or I would hit and take a little bit and then hold the hit button, and instead of charging, it would do the second hit animation, which basically you have 3 hit animations. If you hit the button 3 times in a row, that's about the max I think you can do. So if you hit once and wait a little bit and go to hit again to charge hit, it would just end up continuing the second animation for me, which was not what I wanted to do, but it would do it anyways.
But no, it's sweet for real. Like it's an awesome game. Like I was saying earlier, it's definitely like one of those little time wasters.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of stuff in it, along with alchemy. You know, finding things, making potions to benefit your character, recreating weapons, making gems and stuff like that. None of the stuff that we've really talked about take away from it. Yeah. But it's one of those little small things that definitely does get annoying over time.
Yeah. What about, you got anything else?
I haven't played too much. So.
Oh man. I will say the one thing that I feel they did right was the money system. Buying and selling is really kind of spot on. It's not like other games where, because basically every game the way I play is I go in and try to get as much money as possible and go in and make sure I get the stats that'll help me get the most money. This game, even if you get those stats, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You will get money from quests. You will be able to get money from finding things. But it takes money to buy things. It's not just like, oh, hey, here's 10,000 gold. Now you can buy 1,000,000 health potions. No, it's 10,000 gold. You can get like 5 health potions. Good luck on your next adventure. Same thing with weapons and armor. I know you can improve them, but like he said, it's really good if you can buy a nice weapon and then improve that one, which it costs money to do that. So it's not like you're running around and just amassing all this money with nothing to do with it. You actually have to buy and sell things if you want to have good gear, or just get really lucky on your drops, or treasure hunting if you have detect hidden.
One of the things when you said buy and selling that kind of popped into my head, but the inventory system in this game is awesome.
Oh, definitely.
It is like one of the most forgiving inventory systems I've ever seen in a video game, especially of this, this type of video game.
Yeah, where you need inventory space.
Exactly. Yeah. So say you'll have minor health potions. So you have 10 of them, 5, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
You only get penalized for the inventory limit for just one of that item.
Yeah.
So you'll have 10 health potions, but in your inventory you'll only be counted for one, which is really cool. All your alchemy ingredients, blacksmithing ingredients, sage crafting, all that stuff that you'll be carrying at least hundreds of at a time will not account towards your inventory limit because they're putting like a little separate pack.
Yeah.
But it's still in your inventory, but it doesn't. You're not wasting space with it. So.
And that's the other thing too, is it separates your crafting goods from your armor and weapons. So if you want to just look at your armor and weapons, you don't have to worry about
all the
nonsense you got to go through to find it. Another thing is when you go to your inventory and you go to select your weapons, you have like a whole bunch of class of weapons. You have your longsword, your great sword, your hammer, your bow, your staff, all that stuff. Well, if you just want to go in and look at your great swords every time you go in, you can collapse the longsword, hammer, and staff trees. So every time you open your inventory, it'll still say the title of like staff and longsword, but you can go directly and only have the great sword or whatever expanded, which is also really nice.
I know you can basically do that with almost any menu in the game. You can do that with your quests. Say if you don't really feel like doing the main quest and you don't want to take space up on your screen, collapse the main quest, but you can still have all the other ones, so you know what you can do. And just so you don't forget that you have like a main quest, when it's collapsed, it'll have whatever number of actual quests or items are in that category.
Yeah.
So it'll say consumables, like 15. That'll be your potions, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. But I really like that because that's a helpful feature.
Yep. You got anything for inventory and crafting?
I don't know anything about it.
Damn it. So let's go real quick. Let's touch on leveling.
Okay. It's an RPG, so leveling is tied to experience points, obviously. You go through. It's kind of weird because their things are called like destiny cards. You choose if you want to be like a warrior, a sorcery, or like a thief, rogue type of thing.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things about that is whatever destiny you choose, the more you level up in that category, you'll get benefits for that certain type of playstyle.
Yeah.
I know I'm a warrior right now, so my destiny card gives me block efficiency. It'll give me melee damage, elemental damage for something like that.
Yeah.
The way you level those up, though, the way you can choose through the different destinies is when you add your abilities, when you your talent trees.
Yeah.
You can switch on the fly between if you want to do might stuff, you can be like, oh yeah, I want to use my swords, but I also want to go into sorcery and then be able to level up my shock.
Yeah.
Which the more points you put into each thing determines which cards you'll unlock, which is really cool.
This game is centered around you leveling yourself. It's not based on how many times you use a skill or how many. I don't know. Let's see. What other games do it? Just basically like how many times you use your skill. So if you run in there and you just want to do sword skill, it doesn't matter if you use your sword and then start using a lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on how many things you kill, how you kill them, and whether or not you have potions
Quests
and stuff. Quest is a major factor in leveling up. So once again, it's not like go and hit 5 levels just by going and killing things. It's you need to do the quest if you want to level up. The only other way other than quest to leveling up is if you do your fate weave, which is the ethereal thing we were talking about. If you do that on a boss and just mash that button and get 100% more experience, that'll also help.
Mm-hmm.
But quest is definitely the way to go. When you do level though, the thing I really like about this system is you get 3 points every time you level. Now, there are a lot of things to put your points in each separate tree, which is, as he said before, is warrior or might, finesse, and sorcery. The thing I like is that you have 3 points, and every ability has probably takes about, I've seen 4 to 6 points to max it out. But the thing is it lets you spread your points out to different abilities. So it's not like, oh, this level I really want to do, an upgraded lightning ball. But I was also looking at, having better damage with my longsword so when I run out of mana. It's not like you have to make a sacrifice like that. Mm-hmm. You're able to put a point in every tree each time you level up if that's the way you want to play, which I think is really cool.
I think that's about it for me.
Yeah. So, overall...
Of course it's going to be it for you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
2 seconds of the game.
We should have gave him a 3-second review. Yeah. Overall, I think it's definitely a buy if you're into RPGs. If you're not really into them yet, I'd give it a rent. There is a demo out on the marketplace. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when I played the demo, there was a lot of bugs with the dialogues cutting out, and it froze on me. So I don't know if I'd really recommend the demo. But I would definitely rent it.
None of those things are in the actual game, though, by the way.
Yes, none of those things. Those were definitely all fixed in the game. Other than that, I think that's about it. I would buy it. What would you do?
I definitely recommend it. I think it's an awesome game. Tiny flaws, they're kind of just like surface scratches on the thing. Like I said, I can't stop talking about it. I'll recommend it to anybody.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah,
what about you?
From what you guys have said, it made me a little bit more interested to probably get into it a little bit more. So, yeah, I would say buy it if you're into RPGs. I would say maybe rent it first because some people might draw off. But yeah, I would say buy it.
Okay. One of the cool things too, also, if you're also a Mass Effect fan, if you play Kingdoms of Amalur, you'll actually unlock stuff for Mass Effect 3. So yeah, keep that because they kind of do like a little tie-in.
Yeah.
If you play the demo, you'll obviously unlock stuff for the real game for Kingdoms. You'll also unlock stuff for Mass Effect 3 just for playing the actual Kingdoms of Amalur game. So that's a little bit of an incentive, I guess.
If we kind of missed anything, if you guys want us to do a full extended review on UFC, or if you want to see us do a full review on Grand Slam tennis, go ahead and leave us a comment. Don't forget to like us, share us, do whatever you want, get our name out there. Still have Prototype 2 in the works for April for a giveaway. We're still working on what we want to do for that. As far as the rest goes, I'm Matt.
I'm Gage.
I'm Josh.
And this is Crash Test Reviews.